Yo, what's up? We are now in Thailand, hammering down the awesome motorways here. But yes, and by the way, I'm sitting in the BYD Atto 3, in case you guys are wondering why it's so silent, why it's so smooth. Well, it's the BYD, the Build Your Dreams Atto 3. Wait, let me disable that voice control in case I say BYD. You have to go to home and then... Oh, no, they showed up the freaking voice control. You have to disable it every time. It's a freaking bug. But okay, let me see. Yes, all right. So, but today I'm not going to talk about the BYD. I will talk about the Toyota BZ4X. Oh yeah. So many people have bugged me, Björn, when are you going to test it? When are you going to test it? Well, maybe I can test it in Thailand. We will see. But anyway, so first of all, some people are like, hey Björn, what's up with you and Toyota? Don't you like Toyota or something? Or, you know, I like your videos, Björn, but why haven't you tested the Toyota yet? Well, for a very obvious reason. They did not provide me a car in time, and now I'm in Thailand. That's pretty much the reason why I haven't tested many other cars, or why did it take so long for me to test, for example, the Peugeot E28 or the Polestar 2, because Polestar or Peugeot, they did not provide me a car yet. That's how it works, you know. I borrow cars from manufacturers, importers, and they have to lend me the car when they are ready. And the same for Toyota. They just have to lend me. I bug them, like, hey, I want to borrow a car. Can you, no, yeah, something like that. So it's not like I don't like Toyota. I think some people think I don't like Toyota. I make fun. I make jokes about Toyota, but I also make jokes about other brands. So all right, just get all that stuff clear, and then yeah. Anyway, so I have not been able to test the Toyota. Yeah, this. Just have to comment on this, that you have a freaking awesome motorway in Thailand, smooth and wide, and then suddenly, yeah, why not? A stoplight, yeah. Oh, I like these counters, by the way. Yeah, there's a counter on how long the red light, the LED light. Oh, wow, okay, and then 29 seconds only. Wow, and the Thai people, they are so slow. Ugh, well, actually, it could just be because it's fossil car, yeah. Could be a fossil car, that's why. They accelerate so slow. Many times I have to do... freaking auto steer, man. Okay, yeah, well, all right. Oh wow, a freaking pickup truck load of bananas. Well, no, not only bananas and some other goodies. Yeah, and these damn right lane huggers, you just have to hammer them. Like this. That's the way you roll. Okay, anyway, back to the Toyota. I guess that was the point of it. I have not been able to test it yet, but I can give you guys the stuff I know about it, the stuff I heard about it, and maybe like my reaction, my comments on other car tester. So before I also start with this one, let me tell you that I did test the Lexus UX 300e, which is, you know, Toyota. It's just a glorified Toyota. And to my big surprise, the Lexus was really thirsty. In summer-ish conditions, 10 degrees Celsius, but it was dry asphalt. The Lexus, which is not that big, it can take 18 banana boxes, which is on par with a classic Ioniq, for example. So it's not really not that big. When you have cars that can take over 24 boxes, then we're talking, this is 18. It's freaking tiny. Kind of, yeah, slightly bigger than Kona, for example, smaller than e-Niro. But okay, my point is that when I tested that Lexus, at 90 test, it consumed 201 watt-hour per kilometer. Like, what the heck? And in the 120 test, it consumed 270 watt-hour per kilometer. So, and that is just the front-wheel drive. It's not an overdrive, not lots of power, but it was quite inefficient, to put it that, or not very, yeah. So it was inefficient, thirsty, you name it. So then it doesn't surprise me that Toyota, when they make this BZ4X brand spanking new EV, you know, new car, new wrapping, same shit under the hood maybe, then people are experiencing poor range and then high consumption. It doesn't surprise me at all, based on what I've seen with the other one, you know. And okay, so at least Elbil 24, they have tested the car in November last year, this year. They tested it and they found it to be inefficient. And the range, okay, that was the four-wheel drive, the all-wheel drive they tested. It was, the VLTP is 470 kilometers, okay. In winter, you can't expect VLTP, but you should at least expect, let's say 400 kilometers of range during winter-ish, right? Well, they did not achieve that. They managed to get a little over 300 kilometers of range, and the consumption was 191 watt-hour per kilometer. And they did some kind of test route, and they actually drove it down to 0 kilometers. The car does not show you percent, but you can see the percent in the app, supposedly. I haven't tested. Oh, whoa, what the freaking cows by the road? What? They are not constrained or anything. Welcome to Thailand. Well, man, this road is so smooth though. Oh, the highway route, highway network in Thailand is freaking awesome. Insanely good roads, but the roads, the landscape is very flat. No, okay, but back to the test. So, okay, it's not a 90 test like I have it, like a standardized 90 test, but they have a different route, but it doesn't matter. They managed to get only 300 kilometers. I'm not sure who did the test, but it could be Fred Magne Schillebæk. I think he's like the editor of Elbil 24. I met him several times during events, test drive events, and he knows his shit. He's a very well experienced EV driver, so you know it's not just some typical TV2 not so skilled noob journalist. No, Fred knows the shit. Yeah, we talked many times during events. He's a very nice guy. He actually lives in Jessheim also. So either it was he who did the test or someone else. It could actually be him, because I met him many times also at Ionity Dal. he's doing the charging test at Ionity Dal also, which means that the test that they did is actually trustworthy. If I would do the test, the numbers will also be something like that. Maybe the consumption number a little bit different, but yeah, they charge the car to 100% and they drive it actually down to 0, which I didn't dare to do anyway. But that means that based on those numbers, around 300, a little bit over 300 kilometers and 191 watt-hour per kilometer, you get roughly 58 something kilowatt-hour, 58.7 I think it was, kilowatt-hour net capacity. And then they were kind of baffled with that result, because according to Toyota, this is like the little confusion here. Toyota claims 71.4 kilowatt-hour net capacity, they claim initially, but then I think they said no, actually that's gross capacity. But even still, if it's net or gross, they did not manage to get anything close to that, you know. But when they did the charging test from 0% to 100%, which took forever, by the way, because the charging curve is kind of, okay, you're supposed to get 150 kilowatt, but I think it peaks at around 130 kilowatt only. And then it tends to throttle. It has like this gentle triangle shape, throttle. Not like a flat curve like an e-tron, but yeah, but then something magic happens at 80%. At 80%, I think before 80%, it was taking around 30 kilowatt, right? 80%, boom, 7 kilowatt. No yoke, 7 kilowatt. That's even slower than, oh, freaking dog. Wait, is that a dog? Was a dog? Okay. Yeah. So 7 kilowatt at 80%. You might as well unplug then. That's like AC charging speed, right? Even the previous Mach-E was charging at the auto steer here is not sensitive enough to register. I have my meat on the steering wheel. Shit. Yeah, even the Mach-E was charging at 11 kilowatt past 80%, but they increased the speed, so it's charging way faster. Mach-E at 80%, I think it charges at around 30 kilowatt now, 30, 35, I don't remember. But the Toyota, okay. Well, anyway, so they did actually, Elbil 24 took the time, the effort into testing, and they would to test it the same way I tested, and they managed to, they pull 62 kilowatt hour from the charger, and I believe that when Fred tests, he doesn't run the HVAC. So he kind of needs to freeze a little bit in the car, because if you run the HVAC, you will actually mess up the result. You might pull a bit extra heat, and then the numbers are a bit weird. But he pulled 62 kilowatt hour from the charger. Well, no, my bad. I think they actually AC charge. Yeah, they didn't DC charge, the AC charge. And they estimated that the net capacity is 60 kilowatt hour, and then there's 2 kilowatt hour loss, charging loss. I'm like, no, that's unlikely. I think it's more realistic that you have maybe 4 kilowatt hour of charging loss on AC. Yeah. When I did the test based on Tesla, I estimated that charging loss is probably around 7%. But it depends, of course, it depends on the onboard charger, how efficient it is and all that. So which means that around 59 kilowatt hour net capacity is what you can expect, and that's also what the driving test resulted in. So all those numbers kind of points towards that you have only around 59 kilowatt hour, not 71 kilowatt hour. So yeah, and then why was the car so inefficient? Well, actually 191, I think actually their test is, I'm not sure how high the average speed is on the test, but I suspect that it's a slower test than my 90 test. Maybe the average speed is as low as 80 kilometers per hour, because they don't drive on the motorway. They have a mix actually on motorway and some land routes, some Bundesstraße, like 70 zones and shit. You know, in Norway is 80 and 70 zones. So if I would test it, the consumption might be even higher. Who knows? Well, actually, in my logic, it should be higher. If it's winter-ish conditions and it's a all-wheel drive, then it should be way over 200 watt-hour per kilometer on the Toyota. But so that was Elbil 24, Elbil 24. Yeah, 24 means 24 or 24. But also Elbilforeningen, the Norwegian EV Association, tested this. So because all the testers, car testers, they were just surprised of how short range you have. Think about this. Toyota claims 470 kilometers of VLTP, and then for the front wheel drive it's even 516 kilometers. But nobody will probably ever be able to get that kind of consumption. Well, maybe I should test in Thailand. Maybe we need to go test in Thailand. Yeah, but that is VLTP, by the way. It's not NEDC. It's not even damn close. Yeah, no, it's VLTP. But 470, okay, and then in winter, actually somewhat slow-ish test. Elbil 24, they get only 300 kilometers. What the heck happened to the other 170 kilometers? Ich weiß nicht, but I think I think you have to expect that kind of low range, and yeah. But then, okay, so actually what I heard about many car testers, they were getting low result, and then Toyota, they responded. Man, I'm holding the steering wheel. Shit. They responded by, I don't remember what they did initially, but they actually pulled some press cars back from some press people who borrowed the car. They actually recalled them back. They wanted them back, and they wanted to investigate the cars to see if there was something wrong with them. Wait, have you seen this before? Faulty press cars? BMW? Mercedes? What? Volkswagen? The press cars, by the way, some people claim that press cars are special cars that has been modified to make it well in press tests. No, that is bullshit. Because these press cars are just regular production cars that the importers like Bertel O. Steen Møller, they buy them and then they just lend them out to media like me for free. Yeah, just regular production car, and they actually replaced them eventually. Some like I know BMW, they actually don't want the press cars to run too long. So before 10,000 kilometers on the odometer, they actually sell them and then buy new press cars. So it's random what car you get, right? But yeah, so the Toyota supposedly pull back some cars. Wow, I was almost shocked to hear that. But I guess they just don't want to give the wrong impression, right? So, yeah, okay, fine. Well, okay, great. But it is what it is. The test, right? Eventually, when someone tests it, like me, we will find out how good or bad is the car. But it doesn't end there. So, like I mentioned, Elbilforeningen, the Norwegian EV Association, they also tested the car. And they suspected that there might be a zero buffer. And I think this was, I'm not sure, I saw there was an article by Ståle Frydenlund. He's also a very skilled and experienced EV driver. He knows his shit. We can trust his result, that's for sure. And they drove it until it stopped. They did a 0 mile test, basically. They drove it past zero, and the car managed to go 40 kilometers below 0%. They had, this time, they had an app. Whoa! Freaking stoplight, man, in the middle of the nice motorway. Why don't they make an underpass or overpass, or the four-leaf clover? There's plenty of space here. Gee, oh, they're selling some stuff. What are you selling? Is that mango? Is that mango? I actually want some mango, but okay, whatever. No, I'll pass now. Because if I munch on some mango, people are gonna complain. But yeah, that looks like some nice mango. But I don't know if it's sour or sweet or not. Yeah. Oh, 58 seconds left. Oh shit, I see the timer there. I don't know if you guys can see it. But so they the Toyota managed to go, okay, the test setup was this, the car shows, it doesn't show percent in the car's displays, but via the app you can see percentage state of charge, right? And then supposedly when the range indicated range was 0 kilometers, the app still shows 2%, and then they drove a little bit past that one until it was 0%, and then they started counting, and they counted 40 kilometers past 0 or below 0%, and then because the car was so damn thirsty, then they calculated that there is a freaking 8 kilowatt hour, which means 200 watt hour per kilometer. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Yeah, what the heck? Yeah, so 8 kilowatt hour below 0 hidden buffer, and that kind of explains the whole battery capacity mystery. Because okay, so Fred Elbil, oh shit, freaking banana car blocking the lane here. Wait, is that the same dude? Yeah. Okay. Wait, are those bananas properly secured? Man, you see, they don't play around. They don't use banana boxes over here. You see, this is the problem. Why I can't obtain banana boxes in Thailand, because they don't use banana. They don't use banana boxes. They just stack them on top of the pickup truck. And they actually modify the suspension on the pickup truck. I don't know if you see it, it freaking bounces like crazy, because they load, that one is actually not that heavily loaded, but they tend to overload the pickup trucks. Like, we're talking about more than 1 ton, maybe 2 to 3 metric tons. Okay, maybe not 2, but I know at least more than 1 metric ton, maybe 2 tons. So the pickup truck is just bouncing like crazy. Yeah, barely legal, modified suspension. Wait, I need to hug the right lane, because in Thailand, left lane is bumpy and right lane is smooth, because all the trucks tend to hammer on the left lane, at least in the daytime. At night, the trucks, they actually camp on the right lane. Freaking crazy, man. This country is crazy, but that's why I like it. Just like I'm crazy, and that's why you guys like my channel. Back to the test. Sorry. Back to the test. Yeah. So okay, let's do the math here. 8 kilowatt hour below 0 buffer plus 15, let's say 59, right? that's suddenly 67 kilowatt hour. Then we're talking, that one is closer to the claimed 71.4 kilowatt hour. But we still don't know, is that net capacity, gross capacity? My theory is that the 71.4 kilowatt hour is actually the whole battery, gross capacity, and the net capacity is 67, and then there is around 4 kilowatt hour of the, I tend to call it the braking protection, which is a portion below zero, or you don't discharge it to 2.5 volt, right? You discharge it to maybe 2.7 volt or whatever. So the capacity you can count there is the one, so that yeah, normally if you discharge it to exactly that one and then you let it stay maybe a little bit too long, then you might damage the battery, permanently damage the battery, destroy the... Jesus, I have my meat on the steering wheel, I promise. Okay, yeah, so that's the... that makes sense. Around 4 kilowatt hour braking protection to not destroy the battery, if in case you discharge it to zero and leave it there, is plausible. So I guess that's how it is. Eventually I will be able to test the Toyota. I actually requested from the user group in Facebook to borrow a Toyota while I was in Norway a couple of weeks ago, but nobody, well, there was one guy in Stavanger, but that's too far away. Yeah, well, nobody around Oslo showed up, so I was like, okay, that's a bummer. But yeah, what we get, wow, the road is so straight. We have this luftspeiling. It looks like water on the road. Damn! Oh, cool. It's like what we've seen in the movies. I think that's just optics. It's the light bending. Or wait, can someone explain this phenomenon? Okay, but yeah, if I would be able to test it, that would be great, but I was not able to test it. Plus, I was super busy anyway. I went all over the place. I went to the Arctic Circle twice and then to Deutschland once. Barely had time to edit videos and eat. I was just stacking up on Fjordland. Yeah, you have no idea what went behind the scenes. The first day I arrived in Norway, I just went to Remen, Tusen, and bought 6 or 7 packs of Fjordland. I didn't have time to cook or anything. But okay. So unfortunately, I was not able to test the car in Thailand, in Norway, but maybe I can test it here. I'm getting some connections here now. I can ask some friends, maybe there's someone. I can actually post. I can always post on the Thai EV group and ask them, is there someone here who knows someone in Toyota, or I can ask EVme. You know, this car I borrowed from EVme. They have a bunch of EVs, but also new ones. I will also see if I can borrow an MG4 in Thailand. But right now, what the dude? There's a dude walking by the side of the motorway. What? Yeah, but if I can test it in Thailand, great. Let's see what kind of result we get over here, I guess, in hot weather. Yeah, it's 26 degrees Celsius. Oh, freaking potholes. Shit. Forget what I told you about the awesome roads in Thailand. Yeah. But, yeah, what else should I say? Yeah, Toyota. Unfortunately, it seems to be 30. Yeah, okay, so what is my takeaway from this then? Well, my assumption based on... Oh, okay, it's moving on. Oh, yeah, okay. My assumption based on the Lexus, which should be the same, right? I suspect that Toyota made some shortcuts that they didn't... Well, more cows by the road. They didn't reinvent everything. They didn't improve stuff over the years. That's my assumption, my suspicion, that they actually just reuse the same hardware. It's probably the same motor. Maybe, I don't know, Toyota BZ is supposed to be a pure EV, right? Okay, you know, just because a car is EV only pure EV only pure EV, they don't make a fossil version of it like the BZ. I don't think there is a fossil version. It doesn't mean that it's an efficient car or a good EV design, because I think you don't have a frunk. I haven't actually checked it out. I don't know how much space you have in there. I don't know if they actually implemented some kind of octaval, or at least a 5-way valve like Tesla, the previous generation had. About preheating the battery, no, I've seen it. It freaking colgates like a, yeah, it colgates like crazy. No preheating or anything like that. You know, what about heat scavenging? Did they think about that? What about aerodynamics? It doesn't look very aerodynamics. I haven't heard about people bragging about low drag coefficient or anything like that. So I suspect that the Toyota actually has poor aerodynamics and also poor drivetrain efficiency, just like the Lexus I tried. So what I mean about the drivetrain efficiency is that if you would hypermile the Lexus or the Toyota, you're going like 40 kilometers per hour, then the drag coefficient, then the drag is so low that it becomes insignificant, right? So then, if the car is inefficient, it boils down to the drivetrain, like gearbox, efficiency in the motor, efficiency in the inverter, and stuff like that. And then, for example, Korean cars and Teslas, they are really efficient, like a Model 3. But then, for example, okay, so in e-Niro at low speed, there's a freaking banana guy. But e-Niro is actually really efficient at low speed because the drivetrain is very efficient. The motor, the gearbox. And when I talk to Hyundai people, which is the same, Hyundai Kia, they said that when they designed Kona many years ago, when they came in 2018 or 17, they had like a first revision of Kona, and then they had, I don't know how much range they had, 450 kilometers of range they estimated. But then they started making the front more aerodynamics, the back more aerodynamic. And you can see that the electric Kona is different than the fossil Kona. And they found out they don't need that much cooling, and they can make it slicker and whatever. And they also started looking at the motors, and they tried to reduce the friction in the gearbox. And lots of stuff they could optimize, maybe because it's an EV, whereas fossil cars might need some other design. And by doing that, they managed to push the VLTP range more and more. So I think they ended up with 480 something kilometers of VLTP. So that's the way to do it. Like the Koreans, like Tesla, like also I feel like the MEB platform, and Volkswagen are starting to do it now. Is you have to design an EV to be a good EV and efficient. The other way around is to brute force it, like some German car manufacturer, like Fat e-tron. Just put a big ass battery in there, brag about 150 kilowatt fast charging, okay, and it charges nice and flat, but the car is still thirsty. It would actually be better to make it 10% more efficient and then make the battery 10% smaller. It's a win-win. Okay, I'm going a little bit beyond the whole thing, but back to the whole Toyota. If they made it more efficient, they could probably have put in only a 60 kilowatt hour battery, like in this one. This one, I get the impression that this BYD Atto 3 is fairly efficient. The drivetrain efficiency is good, and it has, for what I suspect, around 65 kilowatt hour gross capacity, and I have measured around 59.5 kilowatt hour net capacity on the range test. So, yeah, just lots of explanations so you guys understand that based on all my 9 years of EV experience now, I suspect that the drivetrain on the Toyota BZ is inefficient and that the drag is poor, and that's why the car is thirsty. And Norwegians, by the way, this is not only did the car testers test it, Norwegian has already taken delivery of Toyota, and they also report poor range, like 300 kilometers of range in winter, or maybe even lower if you hammer it on a motorway. So we have several observations now pointing towards that the range is not great. But then, because there are some Toyota fanboys out there, then they start bitching about, but it's not all about the range, the comfort is awesome and all that. Okay, we're gonna test that, but by the end of the day, the range is also important in an EV, and the efficiency is also important. So, how do I put this? If you have only 300 kilometers, if I would hammer it on the 1,000 kilometer challenge, I would probably get around 200 kilometers of range maybe on a full charge. when we from Varberg to Helsingborg doing 120 kilometers per hour plus VAT, you know, yeah, then yeah, that would be interesting one day if Toyota would dare to lend me the car. Yeah, they should know me by now. I mean, I borrowed the Lexus last time and that didn't turn out well because the Lexus, even for summer, man, I don't know if you guys remember, the Lexus, that was back many years ago before the, oh, there were more cows, shit. Fortunately, they move slow, unlike moose, man, they're freaking fast. Yeah, but the Lexus, like, how many years was it ago when I tested it? Back then it cost 400k NOK. You can buy an ID3 for that price, way better car. You can buy a Kia e-Niro for that price, way better car, more range, way better range. Also the Lexus, when I measured, had only 200 kilometers of range. Like even the PSA cars, you know, like Peugeot E204, even the Peugeot E2008, which is also cheaper and spacious, even that one with 50 kilowatt hour battery has more range than that Lexus. So you are paying a high price for a shitty car. And to be honest, it was a shitty car. It was also noisy. The infotainment was shit. Didn't even have navigation. And then, but okay, that was the Lexus. Toyota, hopefully, is better. Maybe in the interior and all that, the ride and everything. But by the end of the day, range and charging speed are two very important factors for an EV. So yeah, I'm not sure what else to say, but okay, like I said, you know, I haven't tested the car myself, but based on the other very skilled EV enthusiasts and testers, those tests are trustworthy. If I remember it, I will actually link to those articles and you can read about them. You can use Google Translate and see for yourself what the result was. So yeah, that's just how it is. This is the closest to a test I can do. I cannot test it yet, but at least so many people are waiting for something from me, right? And I cannot deliver to you, unfortunately, because Toyota cannot deliver to me. So yeah, but I hope you guys enjoy this nice view and the crazy Thai drivers, including me. And I think that's gonna be it. So wait, no, I messed up the whole end sequence here. Okay, let me do it again. I have to start again, right? I have to get up from bed, I have to you know, brush my teeth and everything, and then I say that I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching and talk to you later.